So if there's one piece of advice that you have for people in these crazy times as it relates to their credit, what would that advice be?
I would say first, like you said, we are in trying times, to let them know that they are not alone in facing this. And also to let them know it's a basic thing that we talk about, like we did for junior achievement, need versus want. It's time to sit down. A lot of times in times like these, you do not want to sit down and face it because it seems so overbearing, the situations that you are in, but you have to sit down and write down what you owe. And we have to have that hard conversation of what is truly a need, and what is a want. And this is a class that's taught, to young kids, but as adults, during this time, we have to sit down and make that a priority to determine what's a need and what's a want, and prioritize what we have out there to pay.
The creditcards.com estimates that the average U.S. household has a credit card balance of $5,700. You got that going on. And then you have the pandemic where a lot of people are out of work and they have no choice but to use their credit cards to put food on the table. How do you square that?
I tell you, Barb, it's a tough situation, but you can sit down and kind of be vigilant, especially if your credit is still in good standing. You can look around. There are, first of all, a lot of credit companies are working with consumers. So you need to contact them if you're at the point where you're going to be behind or you can't make those payments on there. You need to contact them because they have different assistant programs to help you during these times. And even if it's not a credit card and it's a creditor, whether it's your mortgage company or personal loan that you owe, you need to be vigilant in contacting them and saying, hey, I fall into this particular group, or I'm having this problem, because there are loan deferments out there, there are forbearances out there, there are other things that you can do. If your credit is still in good standings, you can get savvy and actually look for different cards where maybe you can transfer your balance to one that has a lower interest, which would then make your minimum monthly payments lower. And check with different banks. Now, in that, be careful because some do charge balance transfer fees to transfer from one place to another. So German American, you can contact us even. I mean, we have a card out there that doesn't have a balance transfer fee, and it actually can even be fixed at a fixed rate of interest if you qualify for that. But I'll tell you to prioritize. That's the main thing, is to prioritize and to keep in communication with your creditors at this time.
The advice you just gave us, Monica, in these times, people who have tried so hard to keep their credit good and have a good credit score, can you salvage it right now?
Can be salvaged, but in my personal opinion, and my professional opinion, right now that may not be your number one primary focus, because I understand that, hey, when you are looking with, hey, do I have enough to pay my mortgage? Do I have enough to pay my rent? Can I put food on the table? Those, of course, need to be your priorities. But with good communication and with just, like I said, reaching out and trying to set up loan deferments and different things. These are things that will allow you for a few months to pay maybe a lower payment, sometimes maybe not to make a payment at all. You just have to reach out to your creditor and see. But yes, your credit can be salvaged. There was a particular bill that was enacted that even if you were under this loan deferment program or forbearance program, that your credit reporting, as far on the creditor side, they cannot report you as late. And that is in effect for just a certain amount of time, but that will help you too in salvaging your credit.
Monica Wardlow, retail lender with German American Bank, joining us here on Coffee Near Me. I'm Barbara Deeb. Keep the conversation going. Who would you like to sit down and have a conversation with? Thanks for joining us.